One sec. Just wait for it to connect. Although I did see a thing saying Instagram was having issues with their live streaming, so it's possible. Oh no, it's working. There we go. Cool. Guess those things that must have been fixed. Cool. All right. We are ready. Just pull up the. Oh, sorry. There we go. And here we go. All right. Hey, Kale family. Welcome back to Coffee Talk with Risa and DJ, your go-to spot for caffeinated inspiration and actionable real estate strategy.
Yeah, I've got my coffee here. I'm getting caffeinated right now. June is all about open house blitz, and last week we spoke about how to get the best open houses. Today we're talking about what really moves the needle: marketing your open house so you get people through the door.
Yeah, let's be real. If you grab an open house a day or two before the weekend, you've already sort of missed your shot at doing it right. If there's no time to market, you're not going to get traffic. And if there's no traffic, then of course, not many leads or no leads. And then no leads, wasted time.
You and I chatted about this last week. It's like a lot of people don't like doing open houses because they feel like it's a waste of time. And it's probably because they didn't do it right. And I think that marketing is the key to making it successful. So we're going to give you lots of tips today. Here's your first step. Ask for your open house at least a week in advance. Give yourself time to promote it the way it deserves.
Yeah, and you're not just sitting in a house, you're hosting an event and building your brand. So let's market it like an event, right?
Okay, here's your first step. You've got to have beautiful marketing materials. Just printing something off your printer is not beautiful. So order a gorgeous branded flyers from Express Docs and use the listing agent's photos. They're giving you permission to market this property when you get their open house. Now, the better the flyer, the more likely people are to hang on to it and call you.
Yeah, and I'd like to say too, so I've been here 14 years and we had always wanted to work with Express Docs because they are widely respected and known as the very best drop ship printing service for realtors in the country. Most firms use them, but we weren't able to use them for many years because they had these requirements that they only wanted to work with the very biggest real estate companies. So they wouldn't work with family-owned firms like ours, but now we can. So we're really lucky to have that partnership, and their stuff is so beautiful. So if you don't know how to use Express Docs, go into our intranet and you can see it there. If you don't know how to do that, just reach out to us. But boy, Express Docs is really cool. The other thing you want to do is you want to ask your listing agent or the listing agent if you can place a brochure box on the for sale sign. So if you are the listing agent, you'll know to do this. If you're working for another listing agent doing an open house for them, you'll want to ask them, so could you place a brochure box on the for sale sign? Fill it out with flyers, right? So you put things like the open house day and time, the property details and price, your contact info. Yeah.
Well, and the reality is this. Every neighbor that walks by wants to know how much the homes in their area are selling for. So they're going to grab that flyer, and that has shelf life. They're going to hold onto it for a very long time. And now it's got your name and number on it.
Yeah, it's really, really great. Now, let's make it an event. So here's how we would stand out. So here's how to get next level with your open houses. So, for example, if there's a piano in a home, my mom she'd always had a dream of having a baby grand piano. She never had one. And we always had it upright, which was fine. But she got lucky because her sorority at the college she went to was donating their baby grand, and she got it. So now we have this beautiful baby grand in our living room, and my parents are going to sell their home in a few years. They'll retire somewhere else. And that would be a great idea for whoever has that listing. Unfortunately, not here in the Chicagoland area, or else, one of us might do it. But, that would be a great idea. So if the home has a piano or anything like really exciting like that, maybe hire a pianist or hire somebody to do some entertainment during the show. Also, ask your favorite home inspector to be there to answer questions. Now, this is a really good tip because people are going to have questions and they don't always really want to take the realtor's word, right? Realtors are there to sell homes, but you have an inspector there. That's that person's job. If you don't have a great inspector, reach out to Risa. She'll introduce you to some. We also have a huge vendor list, but Risa will tell you the really good inspectors. Also, invite some local vendors. This can make it a really fun event, like somebody who does makeup or somebody that sells jewelry or makes candles or all sorts of things. You can have people there, showing off their wares, especially if they're in the community, right? That way you can support local vendors in the community, and then partner with a home stager. This is really, really important, and showcase before and after photos. So what a home stager does is they go in before you're in open house and they take a look and see, what needs to go, what needs to stay, and they're going to see things that you can't. And what's always great is we have a great partnership with a home staging company. Reach out to them, find out, and whether you end up absorbing that cost or you pass it on to the seller. This will help. This can make such a huge difference. So people remember experiences. So make your open house feel more like just a walkthrough. Make it memorable.
All right, those are great ideas, DJ. I mean, the reality is if you advertise open house, people be like, I'm not looking for a house. I don't want to go. But we want to get as many people through the door so that we can have those conversations and get to know people and build relationship. So if you're advertising this piano concert or learn from the inspector event or maybe buy some makeup or jewelry or candles, you're going to have more foot traffic. And when you have more foot traffic, now you've got more lead opportunity. And the neighbors are like, my God, I've never seen an open house this busy. I want to list with this agent because they know their stuff. And DJ, when you mentioned create an experience, I am really well known for my world famous cookies. So my experience is I cook my cut up cookie dough in the oven at the house. And so it smells like cookie and it smells like home. I'm going to encourage everybody to not light any candles. I know you're inclined to want to do that, but that is a fire risk. But make the house feel warm and cozy. Turn on some music. Make it a warm experience.
Yeah, I love that. Nothing smells better than freshly baked or cookies baking or freshly baked cookies. And candles even if you did put candles and they weren't a fire hazard, they just don't quite do the same thing as that actual real thing. So yeah, that's a great idea. Let's also make sure we're promoting this on our social pages. So you should have a Facebook page for your business. This is your real estate business, of course. So make sure you put that Facebook event, put it on your business page. And if you're sharing real estate content on your personal page, post it there too. But certainly post it on your business page, on all the social channels, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, even if you're a TikToker. Make sure people know that this is happening. Share it with your sphere. Then send the link to the listing agent if it's not your own listing, and encourage and have them share it with the homeowner to say, hey, here's what my team is working on right now for your listing, because you want this thing hitting. And also tell them if you'd like to send it out to your sphere, or the neighbors or anyone, please do. You want this thing hitting on everyone's social feed.
People often ask me, should I use a business page or a personal page? And I use the business page really and truly only for that events feature. It's only available on business. And it now has a feature where you can even drop a video. So maybe you want to preview the property before that open house event and drop it in that event. So here's another suggestion. There are Facebook groups out there called moms groups. And even if you're not a mom, you can join it. But most of the moms groups have thousands of people in it. Everybody's, wanting to know what's going on in the neighborhood. So join a Facebook group, possibly those moms groups or neighborhood groups or even the garage sale groups, and post about your open house event. All right. That group is your future buyer.
Yeah, I am such a big fan of doing this. So find your local community groups, moms group. Like I live in Wicker Park, there's a Wicker Park community group. Now, you do want to read the rules for each group that you're in. Some don't allow you to promote things, some do. So let's say it doesn't. So, okay, what do I do then? I can't post my open house. Well, yeah, that's technically true, but you could start friending those people in that group. And then once you become friends with them, then you could say, hey, by the way, I know you seem to be part of this community. Wanted to let you know, you could send them a DM and say, hey, here's this invitation. So, even if you can't post in the group, maybe use that as an opportunity to find people who are like-minded or into the same stuff you're into, and then message them and develop those personal relationships. You could still send it out, just might have to do it one by one. But hey, what's better than one-on-one? I love that. So next thing you want to do is to use an open house sign. Let's get in the neighborhood. Let's make sure we are visibly visible. So we're going to use open house signs that have your name and phone number. Don't be anonymous. Be seen.
Yeah, I was that agent that had about 10 signs, and I would put them out every single weekend, even if I wasn't doing an open house. It's all about becoming a neighborhood name. So here's another idea: get out and circle prospect. Circle prospecting is when you knock on the doors and hand deliver that beautiful flyer you made from Express Docs. Invite the neighbors to come by. They're curious, anyways, and you might just find somebody who's thinking about selling.
Yeah, I have a great little tip that I was just told from a top agent in Southern California. So what he does, and I thought this was so smart. I'd never heard anyone say this, and I'm sure he's not the first person to come up with it, but he's the first person to tell me. And what he does is he actually calls all the neighbors. So he somehow gets a list of phone numbers. And he also knocks on doors a day before or the day of. But about a week before, he says, hey, I just want to let you know we're doing this open house. One of your neighbors so it might be kind of busy. So I apologize if the traffic's a little crazy that day. He goes, but I just want you to know my intention is to sell that home for the highest price possible to raise your property value so that when you want to sell, I've done my part. And I went, wow, that's such a smart thing to say. So, you're not bothering people. You're actually providing value by telling them, hey, by the way, I'm working on your neighbor's house right now so that you can sell for a higher price. I just thought,
That's
oh, that is so
awesome.
brilliant. Anyway, yeah. So use open house signs, right? Or we were talking about this. So the extra wow, what we want to do is we want to send handwritten notes. So this is real. I mean, how many handwritten notes do you get a year? I get like one or two, maybe if I'm lucky. Nobody gets them either. So let's be really original and unique. It takes a little bit of effort, but it's worth it. So send a handwritten note card to those neighbors, 10 to 20 of them. Little old school touch, hand deliver it, drop it off on their porch or wherever. I promise you, nothing is cooler than walking up to your porch and seeing a handwritten card or something where they can open. They're like, wow, what's this? It's cool.
Do you know what's even better is hosting the open house and having somebody show up with that note card in their hand. They're like,
Ooh,
thank you so much for inviting me. So
that's awesome.
here are a few tips. We're giving you a marketing blueprint to turn your open house into a lead magnet. Marketing creates traffic, and traffic creates opportunities.
Yeah, and remember, a well-marketed open house is more than a weekend activity. It's a chance to elevate your brand, grow your business, stand out in your market. I want to make one more point. When not every open house is going to have a lot of traffic, so you have to realize some do, some don't. It's just kind of how it goes. But the most successful agents do them consistently, and always when they get a listing, they're doing a couple of open houses at the very least. So even if one doesn't get much traffic, don't be discouraged. Just think, how can I get this out there more often? So just keep doing it. This is a chance to elevate your brand and just get more leads.
That was awesome, DJ. I mean, so many tips on how to create a successful open house. It's going to help us generate leads. Next week on Coffee Talk, we're going to talk about what to do at the open
Mm.
house and how to build those relationships and generate real leads and follow up like a pro.
Yeah, this is a really cool one. I'm super excited because this is where the rubber meets the road. It's like, okay, the person's walking in. What do you say? What do you do? How do you present yourself? How do you present the home? Risa and I are going to tell you all the best ways to do that. So until then, market like you mean it. And don't forget, you are the brand. It's you. You're the most important part. So let's focus on you.
Thank you so much, DJ. I appreciate all those great tips. And cheers, everybody, to killer marketing and lead generating open houses. Go do it. You
Cheers.
got this.
Yes, and for everyone that's a KL agent, and I know not all that we have non-KL agents watching. By the way, if you're a non-KL agent and you would love to learn more about us, you can obviously reach out to Risa or myself. If you are a KL agent and if you haven't yet talked to Risa about all the agent development ideas she has, this is what she does. This is what she's been doing for 15 plus years. Before us, she was doing it at other firms. So please reach out to her. She will help you grow your business. Risa, what's the best way that one of our agents should reach out? out to you?
Oh my gosh. It's easy. Risa, RISA at kalerealty.com or DJ at kalerealty.com. We make it
Yes,
easy.
I can't help you necessarily grow your business. I can tell you about Kale, but I can push you over to Risa, who will give you all the tips. So definitely reach out to her. And if you're not a Kale agent, reach out to me or Risa, both of us, because we want to talk to you about why we love it here and why we have, gosh, almost 700 agents who love it as well. So thank you, everyone. And if you are a Kale agent, we appreciate you. Keep watching us, keep telling us what you want us to focus on, and let's crush those open houses.
You got this. All right. Till next week.